How important is the audience in the successful execution of a joke?
Mm. The audience is. That's why I tell artists a lot of times that because I started in the art community, on the poetry nights and music, because there wasn't a lot of open mics in Baltimore. So I would lie and say I'm a poet and go to open mics and get on stage and just tell jokes. And they'd be like, when is this nigga gonna do a joke? When is this nigga gonna tell us a poem? So I started in that era of the neo soul. You know what I'm saying? That's why that community loved me to death. And I feel like as comedians we have it harder because we need the audience, you know, and we need that feedback to let you know, like we feeling you or you funny, you know what I'm saying? But I had to talk. It's funny. I had to talk with Scrappy. He was like, "Nah, bro, it's not like that." You know, Scrappy funny as hell too. Scrap was like, "It's kind of the same, bro, because you could be performing your ass off and they just staring at you." But at the same time, I'm still, nigga, you got music. You love your music. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell my joke and laugh at my own damn joke. I can't be telling you like, ha ha, y'all ain't get it. All right, next joke. But with us, we need the crowd to feel us because we like really being vulnerable up there, you know, and your material is just, you're just giving your all and your material, you're just hoping that this works. You just really know this is funny to you. And it's a magic we have as comedians to be able to say something to people that I find funny, and I know I'm make you laugh with it, and I got the courage to say it, and I don't even know you, and I know you're gonna laugh at this. So,
Two questions I have before we get to the next one, right?
mm-hmm.
Comedians are unique because this is one of the few professions where you're by yourself. Like with sports, you have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Even like on single sports, you still have like a team there.
Yeah.
I notice with music artists too, a lot of musicians are shy. Well, singing artists, they're shy.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because they have the band behind them.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going out there like by yourself? Like there's no backup, bro. There's no help defense. There's no nothing.
There's no play calling. I always say it's just like when you remember on Hangover when Alan was putting all the math problems together. That's how comedians are. We are literally sitting there fearing for our life. We're happy to be there. We're still nervous. We're trying to put together what jokes are going to fit at what time. Because sometimes you can have a whole set lineup, but you can look at me. I like to sit in the audience for a while and sneak in the back and kind of look at people and get the energy of the room. Like I'm soaking in everybody, so when I get up there, I already know how they feel and what the vibe is. But that don't work all the time. So sometimes you just really gotta like be in the moment. Sometimes you be like, your set be going one way, you be like, then I feel in this whole realm and topic. Let me change my tone and go to these jokes, my backup joints. So it's a science behind it when you up there, man. It ain't got to be that hard, but to me, it's simple when you just know how to, you know, work a room. You know what I'm saying? And can sense energy.
And like, how quick do you switch? Like I know in reggae it's different with R&B and different genres. I know with reggae artists, the good ones, if a song's not hitting, they just stop the song and go to the next one.
Oh wow. Dang.
Yes, you got to
see. You do that.
It's a unique thing. Like if the crowd's not going crazy, they just cut the song.
I just realized
20 seconds into it and go.
Because you be feeling it. You be like, why you cut it off? They be like, not enough people's feeling this shit.
Yeah.
So,
but like
on.
as a comedian, like you can't cut in the middle of a joke.
Oh man,
so like
you can't.
If you're bombing, you got to sit there and finish the joke, bro, and endure.
You started off. You be like, this is not going to end well. If they didn't laugh at this, I know they ain't gonna laugh at it. But I already started the story. So I gotta land this plane. It's gonna crash and burn, but I gotta land it. So, yeah, man, that's literally how it is. But I ain't know that, man.
No, the good ones, they really do. Sizzler, Butcher Banton, they're very good at that.
And they be they bangers. They be like, I know they gonna feel this song. They don't. They be like, they look at you like.
All right. Speaking of audiences, you touched on it a little bit, right? But how do you know what jokes to say where and what jokes not to say at certain venues?
It's kind of like I said, like you said, like sitting in the crowd, kind of vibing out with people. But also, when you get on the road, you learn to make yourself marketable across all markets, so that you as a person, they love you. So no matter what you say, they just want to hear what's next in your life and whatever you're going to joke about, because you're just giving your version of whatever's happening. Because they all been through what you've been through. That's why they're there. But as you grow in comedy, you start to get so good that people just want to hear your version of whatever you're talking about. As long as you're not too abrasive, or if you are abrasive, that's what they come for. It's just really knowing that now this is my cadence. You know what I'm saying? You're going to laugh at whatever I'm saying anyway, because this is like what you come to see, some jokes. But yeah, like that was a good question. You really just gotta be in the moment within seconds. Because I've done a show Like I had a show in Vegas. That's why I never get too cocky with it. I had a show in Vegas, and they had this is like one of them joints. It was in a casino. Can't see nobody in the audience, and they got the clock right there. I had 30 minutes, and as soon as the show started, I started doing my material, and it just wasn't hitting them like it normally does because I had such high energy getting on the stage. And I was like, the first one didn't work. Then another joke, pace across stage. That one didn't work. I was in my mind, what in the fuck is happening right now? And I looked down and I saw a 28. I was like, Jesus. It felt like an hour. That clock right there, I was just like, damn. And then that's when I learned to like focus on like somebody in the audience sometimes, because sometimes in big rooms you can't monitor the laughter. You got to look at somebody and talk to them. And I realized it was old white people, just an old white couple. And I was like, oh, let me slow down and go back to my teaching jokes, because the older folks love the teaching jokes. And so that's when you have to circle around and kind of like be in the moment and think quick. Because I didn't know I was talking to a whole bunch of old ass gambling people. You know what I'm saying? That's when I saw that little old white people. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm jumping in on some, people in my era shit. I gotta lead them into it by starting with the kids and the family and shit, and then get into who I am so they can kind of all circle back around and relate. So yeah.
Next question I want to ask, right? How does your spouse, family, and friends respond when you make jokes about them?
My wife has become very comfortable because she know I'm not doing anything out of malice, and I don't use her just for as much as material as I can. She's way she helps me with a lot of stuff, man. She make me realize a lot of the material. She's not like sitting down like literally writing jokes for me, but that's what she want to take credit for. But it's always the small stuff she say that make me notice, to make me elaborate on, that become bigger and bigger jokes. The jokes with her and her friends and her family, and I pick up on that. I be like, you know what, I ain't even noticed that. And that small, it's always something real small that she say that makes me like elaborate a lot on and makes me better as a comedian. But as far as my family and my friends and stuff like that, my family is very proud of me. They're very supportive. They love coming to see the live home shows because they've supported me throughout my whole career, and they love seeing the growth. Like last night, I had a lot of my cousins come out, and they just was like, and we just had a show in Philly, and they just be like looking like, dang, bro, like, and during all this fun time we was having partying, I was still doing the open mic thing. And they're so proud because it's like, yo, bro, you really had like a work ethic to you. Like you, even though you still party with us and have fun with us, you still was doing the open mics back then and getting better and better, man. So it inspires them. It really, makes them, want to do better for themselves. And that's a lot of the motivation for me to keep doing it,
I want to jump back to the wife. It seems like she's very observant in regards to things.
Yeah, she's very observant. She gets nervous with me when I have home shows. It's like she get nervous like she about to get on stage. I'm like, nigga, you ain't doing nothing. But she always is really proud of me, and I always ask for her feedback because I don't want her to ever like not be turned on by me as a stand-up comedian. Because I've been to, shows with my OGs, and some of them you sit there with them and watch them on stage headlining as comedians. Be like, I look up to this guy. Comedy is comedy. We love just seeing our comedians, our OGs eat. We love seeing them on stage eating and killing. And I remember watching one of my OGs doing this thing, and his wife was sitting there just and she was saying his jokes while he was saying them, and she was just like ready to go. I don't ever want my wife to be like that. She don't go to every show, but even still, I don't ever want her to be like just looking at me like, all right, nigga, get it over with. You know what I'm saying? I still want her to feel how inspired I am every time I get on stage, and really still be sitting there like, not more so a groupie, but just so proud of me. So I always ask for her feedback, and she always give me my emotional part of it. She's like, I can tell you was nervous on this part, or I know you want this to be better, or she's never judging it, but she's more so like, I like how you switch that up. Yeah, she always like, I like how you switch that part up, and you change the tone of your voice. So yeah.